Oops, that's the wrong one. There we go, that's just me. Good to see everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out here. What a comical start to the stream, eh? I'm Charlie Merriman. I'm merry by name, and I'm merry by nature, and I couldn't be merrier to be debriefing with you all about EUIC. I was thinking today, I normally stream competitive Pokemon, video game of course, that's my area of specialty, on Tuesdays. And I thought, but kind of all anyone's thinking about right now is the European International Championships. And hello, Victor. Good to see you. Welcome in. Hope you're having a merry day. It felt wrong to just stream games with, a fun team or a team that's proven itself, as I often do with my VGC streams. Because there's so much to talk about from the European International Championships. And so I thought I'd try out something a little bit different. We're going to be going through some footage from the weekend. The bits I hosted, some games I casted, and there's all sorts of things to talk about from off camera as well. Just give you a little bit of a peek behind the curtain as to the sort of things that go into these events. So if this is the sort of thing you're interested in, do let me know. It gives me ideas for content. I was vlogging as well, and I have ideas for how to turn that into a video, sort of more of a deep dive into the competition as a whole from a caster's perspective, because I feel like we don't get too much of that. So I'll be working on that video, but for now, yeah, I thought, while it's still fresh, why don't we debrief about the European International Championships? Hello, Ash. Good to see you. Have I recovered from the weekend? We're getting there. I had a good amount of sleep last night, which is good. And yeah, I'm still feeling slightly under the weather, but yeah, I think if there was a little bug going around actually amongst some of us, although I still don't know. It was also some aircon issues. Basically, my body's catching up on sleep, and we are getting there, Ash. Have you recovered? It was so nice to meet you in person, finally. Hello, Conductor 88, Wolfie, com perish, indeed, except without perish, sin perish, I guess you would say, in the grand finals, but still, going all the way to win. In fact, yesterday, when I was checking out the hotel, the person said to me, "Oh, so how's your weekend gone?" Knowing that I was commentating the video game, and I was like, yeah, as you probably know, Wolfie won." And he was like, "Oh no, I was just watching, I was just catching up, I was trying to avoid spoilers." So I spoiled the person on the reception desk at the hotel as to the result, but I'm assuming that most people know that Wolf Glick won. Absolutely historic EUIC, and we'll be talking more about that as the stream goes on. Good evening, Rich. Oh, well, thank you so much. I'm so pleased that you enjoyed watching everything I did at EUIC, and you enjoyed the chemistry. I had so much fun with everyone. Expected the Merriman name. Merriman nature, yeah, fair enough. Rich, I guess I could have done more of that. I was just making people merry with the jokes, I suppose. Well, hello, Kendrick's favourite Kindred streamer. It's a pretty limited bunch of us, I suppose. I'm glad that you enjoyed watching the casting too, Kendrick's. Welcome in. Oh, Shay, good to see you, my friend. Shay and I were hanging out. Oh, you know what? Shay gave me a beautiful Lady Anne card as a gift. I love it. I've seen that art before, and I thought I've got to acquire that card somehow. Shay gave that to me as a gift, and I think it's, and you know what, Shay? I think it's still in the inside pocket of my the jacket I was wearing that day. But thank you so much for that, Shay. It's going to take pride of place somewhere. And Shay, for anyone who's unfamiliar, was hosting the activity stage at EUIC, so introducing the cosplay showcase, for example, the TCG illustrators and various activities, the meet and greets with Cerebi Joe, Ross Gilbert, etc., the Wassy. And from all accounts, from what I hear, did a fantastic job, and it's a really cool introduction to EUIC, so thank you for your work too, Shane. Great to have you here, as always. Can't wait to see it. You got a flow of the weekend, so glad to get some comfort streaming in. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that you've been ill, Peter, and I'm sorry that I didn't spoil the result for you as well. I hope you're feeling better very soon. Glad you were fine. You were just tired. Took the day off work. Good for you. Good for you. Nice. Yeah, I did. I spoiled it for the person on the reception desk, but how was I don't know that they hadn't caught up on the finals. It was so hype. And there you go, Shay. The activity stage was amazing. Hope you're all having a merry day. Were you at EUIC? Were you not? Were you just watching the stream? Either way, would love to hear from you. Let me know what your thoughts were on the event. And as I go, everybody, feel free to chuck questions in. We'll try and have a dedicated sort of question and answer session at the end. But yeah, if you have questions as I go along, then do let me know. All right. Well, please do like and subscribe if you're enjoying already, but we'll be getting into the meat of it right now. So, if anyone isn't aware, yes, I am a caster for the Pokemon Video Game Championship Series, and it was my honour to cast EUIC this year. So last year, I was hosting EUIC for the video game. That's a lot of fun. As a lot of you know, I have experience in acting and writing, and so I love getting up there, performing, using words, making things accessible. And I thoroughly enjoyed hosting last year. This year, I was casting, not hosting. It was actually Sierra who was hosting this year. So Sierra and I from last year did a bit of a role swap. And I was really pleased to be able to show that I can do both, you know. As casters, we're all expected to host as well as cast at some point. But yeah, I was excited for the opportunity to prove that. And for the Saturday, I was paired with Ben Kiriakou. We complement each other really well. Of course, he's more of an analyst. I'm more of a play-by-play. And actually, we are very fortunate to not live too far away from each other. So we've been able to do some in-person practice over the past few weeks, and that has paid dividends. But on the Friday, we were rotating pairs, so I had a couple of games with Lee. I had one game with Lou as well. And then Ben and I were casting the juniors and seniors finals for the video game, and Lou and Lee were on the masters. And yeah, I mean, play-by-play, it's sort of bringing the excitement, explaining maybe for newer viewers what's going on turn by turn, then the analysis is unpacking. Obviously, everyone has to be able to do both. And so flexing those muscles was a really good thing. But before we even got into the casting, I was opening the show with Spraggles on stage. So we arrived. The first thing actually we did as a group of casters was we all went out for dinner, which is a really nice bonding activity. It's become a bit of a tradition, and we're all catching up, debriefing, just sharing our excitement for the weekend ahead. And, you know, you can practice casting all you want, but I think there's also a lot to be said for just hanging out with the people that you're going to be working with, just that natural chemistry and, you know, creating some stories that you can share on the desk over the weekend for a bit more flavour, a bit of interest, and just making sure you're all on the same wavelength, really. By the end of the weekend, I feel like it was hard to look at Lee's face without laughing. We just had so many little jokes going on between us. So that was a really lovely way to kick off the event. You watched the stream all day anyway, Peter. Yeah, understandable. Really wish you could have gone. Yeah, Victor. Well, hopefully you'll be able to go to another event soon. What's going on, Riley? How's that Zangoose hunt going? Thank you so much for joining for a bit of slightly different kind of stream. So, host, yeah, exactly. Doing the interviews with the winners on stage and generally sort of being out there on the floor if we have time to fill, finding people to interview live or pre-recorded, maybe filming some segment ideas as well. That's what host means here, as well as introducing, when it comes to Championship Sunday, introducing the finalists, maybe if there's time, interviewing their family and friends, things like that. Hello, Ben. Ben, of course, you were in London this past weekend. Congratulations on your run. Thank you so much for joining. And hello, Luke. Thanks so much for your kind words online. I hope you were enjoying the stream as well. The openings were really fun. We played off each other really well. It's always a pleasure working with Jake Sprague. We actually opened the stream on Saturday last year. We opened, and because we both have a background in acting and improvisation, we wanted to have a bit of fun with it, and that's exactly what we did. We were, you know, riffing on the script a little bit, had a bit of banter between us, developed a running joke between us. And so this year it was really exciting to be asked to then open the entire show. Clearly the work we put in was noted, and so we continue to have fun with it. So why don't we go into that right now? Hello, Chris Kiwi. Good to see you. I hope you enjoyed watching EUIC if you're watching, and if not, you're in the right place for a debrief of the entire event. Still non-existence on the goose. I am sorry to hear that. Representing the Chazingdra Osiris squad in the chat. Whee! Very nice. Thank you so much for representing us, Riley. That's really exciting. I'll have to keep an eye out for that chat. Hello, Natalie. Thank you so much. I'm so pleased you enjoyed that. That's really kind. I'm so glad that you had so much fun watching the opening ceremony too, Ash. That's fantastic. Wish you were close to the stage. Oh, that's a shame, Ben. But we'll be able to go over it now. So I might have to adjust the volume of the stream a little bit. I had the music I had playing continuous play there, but I realized it's not in the audio mixer. You weren't able to hear the stream beats that I had playing there. Anyway, so You'll have to let me know if the levels of what we're watching, because I'm going to be, talking over the top of it, is too loud. In fact, the first thing I show you, I'm probably going to entirely mute, because of course, where we started was this incredible band called The Longest Johns doing a performance on stage. I'm muting it because I don't know if, for copyright issues, I'd be able to have the sound playing. So make sure you're checking out the VOD of the stream. They were incredible. When I heard that they were going to be playing, I listened to some of their songs, and I love them. I cannot wait to hear more of their stuff. And then after this song, they performed a song that they had written especially for this event to do with Pokemon. And that was so exciting. It was incredible. So they sang a song, and then Jake and I opened the show. Yeah, please do like and subscribe, everyone, as Luke says, would be hugely appreciated. Normally I stream competitive Pokemon, but it just made sense to stream debriefing about EUIC tonight. You were the Zacian that managed to talk before I went back on stage in day one. Ah, Chris, okay. Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for that. Hello, Taiki. Thank you so much. I'm pleased you enjoyed the stream. Pleased you enjoyed the casting. Oh, great. I'd love to see that screenshot, Riley. I don't know, in the Discord or share it with someone. Hello, Adam. Good to see you. The Longest Johns, they're so good, weren't they, Ash? So good. Make sure you check out the performance. I will skip ahead here, though, into the opening. I don't want to skip ahead too far, of course, but it's hard because it's such a long stream. While they sort of wrap up, I will say, yeah, so Jake and I opened the stream on day 2 of the competition last year. And, oops, oh, my display's gone all over the place. Oh, where can I put you? I was pleased that our work had gone noted on that. Come on now. Yeah, that's better. Okay, I think they've finished playing. So here's what the opening was. So basically, on the Thursday, it's rehearsal day. So after we had that opening dinner, we had a slot at the Pokemon Center, which was fantastic. In terms of my purchases, I was actually pretty restrained. I think once you've been to a couple of Pokemon Centers, you really focus in on the things you would really like. And it's mainly, I got the exclusive playmat, and other than that, the main things were a couple of plushies. I got this little Gumi plush over my shoulder. She's called Debbie. I'll talk to you why she's called Debbie in a moment, but it was just there on the shelf, and I thought there are some Pokemon that just come out so well as sitting cuties, and Gumi is one of them. It's just perfectly shaped, sort of palm-sized, looks like such a fun, supportive friend, so I had to pick up Debbie. And then also, my favourite Generation 8 Pokemon, I think they're so funny, this plush, Phalanx. They come to deliver the daily report to me, what's the news, and then they go off on their merry way to find more news to deliver. Those were my main purchases. Anyway, we then got into rehearsals, and so Jake and I were practicing this on stage. We decided, there's a line where he says, we're gonna kick off the action, and so we did a choreographed kick. I kept forgetting it, including the very last rehearsal we did that morning. But then on stage, fortunately, I was able to remember. So let me know about levels, everybody.
Good morning!
Hello!
Bonjour!
And other greetings.
Jake slightly forgot a line there, unfortunately.
Here to Pokemon trainers around the globe. Wasn't that incredible from the Longest Johns? They'll be back with a very special song, especially for you, in just a moment. But for now, trainers, welcome to the Pokemon European International Championships 2025!
EUIC, let's go!
EUIC, 4 of the best letters of the alphabet. We are coming to you live from the iconic Excel Centre right here in London, UK. I'm Charlie Merriman.
And I am Jake Sprague, and let me tell you, Charlie and I are beyond thrilled to be kicking off, we got it, this first event here, this second international event.
So that is why Jake there said, we got it, because I kept forgetting it in rehearsal. And in fact, if you look closely there, you can actually see I do it last minute. I nearly forgot again to do the kick, but we did get there in the end. Shay, thank you for your kind words. It was so much fun to do this intro with Jake. And so, yeah, our job was just to build up the hype.
EUIC is known for its
true.
energy and
definitely.
moments. And I feel like a little bumblebee here, buddy, because day one is already buzzing.
Let me know about the
excitement.
levels, everybody.
What surprises does this weekend have in store for us? I cannot wait to find out.
I'm turning down the volume a little bit on my end as well because it's a little bit distracting. But, yeah. We were definitely improvising. The way we rehearsed it, we were just sort of using words interchangeably, just so we didn't get too stuck in things. What do I mean? The kick was staged. Yeah, exactly. So there were things that we added as well. Like here, we made more of a moment of announcing how many players there were. So I choreographed that. Before it was just me announcing how many players, but I thought, Jake, why don't we read this out together? Let's build up the hype even more. Sound is good? Okay, good. Laughed a lot, you're incredibly hyped. Very good, Luke. That is mission accomplished. Thank you so much, Alex. Good to see you. So, then we had a lot of fun with this, where we are asking the fans of each game to make some noise. We really wanted to play with the audience. So I started with Unite, and then I introduced Go.
I want to hear you give it up for our trainers from Pokémon Go. Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Good.
You took the note and you ran with it. Very good. Nice.
Now, I know
I actually delivered that line directly to someone who was really going for it, and they appreciated that.
For our trainers playing the Pokemon trading card game.
Okay.
So then we have this banter about, are the cheers going to be able to tear the roof off the venue?
Hanging on by a thread right now.
Itaka-chan, so good to see you as well.
We're okay for now. I'm not sure it's going to stay.
And then I got to announce the video game, makes sense, and Jake announced Unite, casters for our respective games.
Absolutely wild for your trainers from the Pokemon video game. There it is. Oh,
There it goes.
it's gone.
Yeah,
It's gone.
They got it. Roof's
That
gone.
roof is gone.
Yep.
Congratulations, you tore it off. We're in an open-air venue now, trainers. Good luck.
Yeah, fun. I hope you brought your umbrellas. Good luck with that, everybody.
They were joking about getting some, like, footage of a roof being torn off on the screen behind us, but probably that would have been a bit much.
Of course for the glory, of course for the hype, but there is also a massive prize pool this weekend. Let me take this. Can't be
And
right.
this we decided to have some fun with as well.
It is. They are competing for over $500,000 in prizing between our titles, and of course, those all-important championship points. Do you see that off in the distance?
Jake really ran with this. I loved it. And he calling me Chuck as well. I wish I'd caught that at the time.
That is world.
But looking off in the distance to Worlds coming down the road.
California, the ultimate stage this August. Some of these trainers will be there.
Jake, you colossus of the world. We're going to need some music to accompany that journey to world. It's coming down
He
very
called me a
fast.
dashing hero. I had to call him a
Why don't we
Colossus
have
of the
one
world.
more song that celebrates your
Oh.
journey as a Pokemon trainer. Let it ignite your passion.
Hopefully that's
through the
better as a
competition
volume
ahead.
rally.
You ready,
Apologies
Jake?
for that.
Me.
So then this was something we joked
It's
about
not
as
me and
well.
Jake.
They will not let us sing.
Yeah, we auditioned, but they were like, "He will get back to you." No, please welcome back to the stage, the longest Johns.
So, I was in my script, I was announcing the longest Johns that we were about to play. Jake and I decided it'd be fun if we made the audience think that we were about to do the singing as well, instead of the longest Johns, I mean. And yeah, we ran with that as well. It's just so great that we were able to play with the scripts, you know. I had a lot of fun with it, and I think it's important that you have that energy bouncing off each other, and it feeds into the audience as well. Being able to keep the audience engaged is not easy. Thank you so much, Kendricks. That's really kind of you. Yeah, true. We flaunted the acting, we flaunted the improvisation, Ash. I guess that's true. The intro was hype in the venue. Thank you so much, Potter, and good to see you again. Were you involved in the 8192 Shiny Challenge that happened there? That's of course where we met in Birmingham. But thank you so much. That's really kind. When I called you Chuck, you were laughing because we talked about how in my head I'm Chuck. Oh yeah, that's true, Riley. Yeah, I love that. Together with Wolfie's 1,400, but it wasn't enough. Semantic frame with all of it. It's a really good point, actually, Peter. It's a really good point. Would have been perfect cameos. True, I guess it would have undermined this next song that they sing is a little bit more serious. I guess it's a bit more epic. So I guess it would have undermined that. So anyway. On the Thursday, we rehearsed that, and I cannot tell you, I was... Possibly the thing I was most excited for over the weekend was doing that opening with Jake. And something that I think is so crucial to casting, hosting, whatever it may be on stage when you're on camera as well, is being present. And I was really pleased actually with my mindset about how I approached that. And I was just enjoying the moment, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I feel like we got the show off to a really good start. And at this point, I had to run backstage to the casting desk because I was also opening the show with Ben on the desk after the Longest Johns played. But in rehearsals, we went over that. We did technical things. We also pre-recorded some segments. Some of you might have seen there was like a Britishism segment I hosted. I was asking non-British casters what certain uniquely British phrases meant, like having a bubble for having a laugh, and telling porky pies for telling lies, tar meaning thank you, a cuppa, what's that, all of that sort of thing. That was a really fun segment, and actually Jake, who I was on stage with right there, and Doob Snacks, another Unite caster, we did a segment, and Adam Watson Skarzig, and I am Pablo Meza, another trading card game caster. We did a segment on that too. So we were filming that. I also was doing the closing ceremony, so Sierra and I practiced that on the Thursday. It's interesting doing these rehearsals a couple of days in advance because you have to like shift gear and get back into that frame of mind a few days later, a good few days later on the Sunday, and try and remember everything that you discussed. So yeah, it's just making sure everything's going smoothly before you get into the event. And that night we all had a fairly low-key one, as I'm sure you can imagine, and headed to bed pretty early because my call time on the Friday was 7 a.m. in the makeup chair. Not just at the venue, but actually in the chair. So, yeah, I think I was up at 5:15 the next morning. Because I have cystic fibrosis, I have to do my physiotherapy in the morning, just breathing into apparatus, shifting, just getting my lungs active, essentially. It's a respiratory condition. We can talk more about cystic fibrosis at another point. But yeah, every morning I have to do that physiotherapy. So it means I have to be up earlier. And yeah, got to the makeup chair and I was just so excited and raring to go. Gisego, good to see you. I'm glad you enjoyed the British section. It was a lot of fun to do. I'm glad that you went to the Shiny event, Pardo. It looked like there were so many consoles. I was thrilled to see the turnout and a Shiny Articuno from it. Very cool. Very cool. I'm glad it was clear we were having fun, Ash, because we were. We certainly were. League of Legends EU casters started making songs for the events. Oh, okay. That's interesting, Peter. Yeah, I guess we could write a song. We could write a song for the event. We could see how that goes. Thanks so much, Rachel, and good to see you. Felt like the best EUIC opening in ages. Well, that's really kind of you, Rachel, and thanks so much for being here. Rehearsal improv. Features is good to confirm. No, Riley. You know what I mean, just those segments. Yeah, very long days, Ash, very long days. Fortunately, my call time the next day was 10 in the morning because it was Lou and Lee opening on the desk. So, why don't we go from here down to... let's skip to the first round of the day. Yeah, that's it. Although, actually, this is a little bit earlier than we'd like. Okay, so I'll just mute it again for the purposes of the Longest Johns finishing their song. So at this point, I'm running behind the stage to get ready on the casting desk. And look at those pyrotechnics, so cool. It couldn't have been a better opening to the show. And also, the fact that they chose this band of all bands, they have such a uniquely British sound. And being in London, it was so cool. It was amazing. I love the Longest Johns. All right, so. Then Ben and I are on the desk.
The Longest Johns, everybody. I absolutely love them. What an incredible band. We're here. I'm Charlie Merriman. I'm joined on the desk by, well, knock.
Who's there?
Ben Kiriak.
Ben Kiriakou.
There we go.
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah.
European.
So I planned these jokes to use... Oh my goodness, my windows are annoying me so much. How, in fact, maybe I can do... No, that doesn't help, actually. We will show the chat replay. Oh, stop doing that, please. Sorry, everybody. I'm just having some Technical difficulties, you know how it is. I could do this, I suppose. Yeah, we can do that for now. Yeah, so I planned these jokes for each opening I had on the desk for each Swiss round. By the time we get into Top Cut, obviously we want to take things a little bit more seriously, but yeah, I came up with that Ben Kiriakou joke, and I told Ben in rehearsals, I've got a joke for you, I won't ruin it now. And then we got into it, and if you missed it, not who's there, Ben Kiriakou. That is his name, Ben Kiriakou. And I'm glad that it took Ben so much by surprise. It was that was a very pleasant surprise in itself. They were terrible jokes, but Play Pokemon did clip one of the ones I did, which I'm sure we'll get to later. And, you know, with the surname Merriman, I've got a surname to live up to. I see it as my job to keep up the merriment all round of the stream. So, there we go. And, you know, I think it's so easy just to go with the welcome back trainers to blah, 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 blah. And I wanted to freshen things up a little bit in that sense. I'm always looking for ways I can, you know, take that one extra step further. So, you enjoyed the jokes, Natalie. I'm very pleased to hear it. And you love the name of the band. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting, Riley. Thank you for that. Cool. Right, so then we get into the event.
Oh, look at us go.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, I like that. I'm going to use that.
There was another one. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to find it
Charlie
now.
Brown.
Yeah,
We can talk about
and of
caster
course,
predictions in
trainers
a bit.
in the venue as well. Let us know how you're getting on this weekend too. We want to hear how the event's being for you. If you're a spectator watching
officially
along,
the
what is
longest
your
Johns.
favourite moment
That's a
across
really
the
good question,
weekend?
Alex.
Things
Really
that
good
we
question.
do really like
Really
to
interesting to see how
across
I
the
prep all these
board,
bits.
but I
They always
think,
seem so
Charlie,
effortless.
We're getting our players ready on
Yeah,
stage
I guess
to
it
get
does,
us
Peter. I
kicked
guess
off
it
here
does, making
at the
something
Europe
look
International
effortless.
Championships. Round 1, we have Robbie versus
That is
Marco.
part of the skill in
Robbie
itself.
Sharjah,
So,
Marco
there was another joke I did, which is probably going to be lost amongst the... it's going to be too difficult and tiny to find in the stream, but it was just... you want to know how I'm feeling about this match, Ben? Knock. Who's there? Woohoo. It was so cool to be able to kick off day one, the first game that we stream, with a three-time international champion and the defending LAIC champion. Marco Silva has won the Latin America International Championships 2024 and 2025. Incredible. And Robbie Sharjah, who's a player that we have featured before on some of the regional level streams, I think. Have we interviewed Robbie maybe for one of the streams? I feel like maybe we have. But a very well-established player, and a player who I believe has been around for quite a long time. So, an incredible way to open EUIC. And yeah, long johns are something different in the UK, Rich, that's true. They are sort of warming underlayers for trousers, keeping the legs warm. Looking forward to actually hearing the jokes. You're kind of busy day one. That's true, Ben, that's true. Trigger good actor, a script doesn't make you forget there ever was one. Exactly, Riley. Love to hear it. Want to know what my favourite match to cast was? Ooh, yeah, that's true. We will get to that at some point. That's a really good question, Ben. Yeah, Marco running this Terapagos team. It's really interesting. And I know that Francesco Piapero is running Terapagos as well. And Francesco is having an incredible run. Undefeated. At least on day one. Yeah, I don't think he went entirely undefeated, but on day one, undefeated. And then, unfortunately, in his, was it top 8 game? There was Thunderwave Grimsnarl, and there were some very unfortunate paralyses there. Who knows, if they hadn't happened, maybe the tournament would have gone differently for Francesco, but showing that Terapagos is something you can't ignore. It's got a lot of potential behind it, and Marco clearly leaning into that as well. With the Screamtail as well, and Heatran is a Pokemon that have really been picking up in the run-up to EUIC. Magma Storm trapping things on the field, and chipping away with damage at the end of each turn. Fire Steel, it matches up quite nicely into some of the threats. And then Robbie, slightly more standard, I guess, Calyrex Shadow Team.
Marco Silva,
so, I don't know, we probably won't dive too deeply into each specific matchup, because otherwise this stream would be too long. But if we skip through to closer to the end of this game.
It does. I mean, this is going to be quite a difficult matchup for both of these trainers. And we would talk
Trainers at EUIC in London to coin a Britishism there.
So Marco's already a game up. It's just the Urshifu left for Robbie here, and yeah, I mean, just able to
And of course, there is fake out in the back in that Incineroar.
just able to have the upper hand in this game.
It's going to be Marco Silva.
The thing is, it's yeah, a 2-0 set with Terrapagos. We were talking over the weekend about how if we saw a Terrapagos team go well, we expected it to be a more offensive one, like Choice Specs or Power Herb. And yeah, and we didn't. I don't think we had. Certainly didn't have Terrapagos in the top 4. Francesco's might have been the only one to be close to that in the top 8. But yeah, I mean, if you can pilot it, then Terrapagos, great. But it tends to be a bit of a terror hog, of course. If you terrestrialize one Pokemon, it's probably going to be that one. Yeah, the thing is, there's always so many matches to cast, and you know, sometimes we've already featured a certain trainer on stream, and yeah, it's always something that we help out with backstage is deciding which game to stream, and there were always, especially in international championships, there were always so many fantastic ones to choose from. And very cool as well that at EUIC there are people from all over the world. You know, we get the chance to see players from Japan, how they playing against each other, players from the North America region, LATAM, all of them converging here in London. And whereas on our regional streams, you'll see a lot of EU players going up against each other, of course. It's very cool to be able to showcase players from beyond Europe as well. And also seeing how they match into our own players from Europe and how those play styles match up into each other. First name you recognise in chat will be, yeah, that's true, right, that's a good point. Right, so, Marco and Robbie. We had these players to watch that we kept our eye on over the weekend. There's Sierra doing a little bit of floor stuff. I wonder... No, okay, so then we had Lou and Lee on the desk. Now I will... I think the next... In fact, actually, no, I won't jump right to the next match because there's going to be some content that I was involved in at some point, I think. Oh, yeah, here we go. Here we go.
I haven't really kicked in how much this means for me.
Winning Worlds.
I don't think anybody else would. I haven't really kicked in.
Apologies for that. But yes, so this
I don't think
segment you're about to see, it was me and Spraggles again. We opened the show, and with Doof Snacks.
This game, it's really about the friendship you make.
The Unite caster that he's the most familiar with casting alongside. And this was the Britishism segment, so we just had so much fun with it. And we could have just kept going. There's always more fun to be had with those two.
And let you help them.
Luca Valley is your 2024 World Champion.
Congratulations, Luca, who was here this weekend as well.
Well, hello, trainers. Fancy seeing you here. We are in London.
That's the
for
wrong
European
handle that they had on screen, but they
Championships,
fixed that, I
and so I've
believe.
gathered two of the least British people that I know to test them on their Britishisms. These turns of phrase that might not mean anything else around the world. Let's see. Spraggles, Doof Snacks, Pokemon Unite. How good is your knowledge? We're going to start with cracking. Cracking.
Could you use it in a sentence, please?
They wanted to do this thing where they intensely leaned into the microphone, which was a lot of fun. So yeah, cracking.
Could you use it in one more sentence, please?
That's unnecessary, Spraggles. That is very unnecessary. We're trying to get through this quickly. Production told us that. Cracking, I'm going to say that means great, terrific.
I'm going to say I actually know what cracking means. So good that it hurts.
Wow, okay, very specific. You know what, you're both right. It just means very good. Excellent.
I think it was a really fun idea for a segment.
Yeah, cracking
and
joke you just told there. Nice.
Well,
Good job,
they're
guys.
tall.
What's
Kendrick's
next?
also, I'm quite
Faffing
short. So it's a
around.
little bit of a combination
Faffing
of
around?
the two.
Faffing around.
Chazingdra Osiris chat
Could you
takeover
please
party
use
started
that
at
in a
6:06. Okay, I'm looking forward to getting to that because I
was
have
not
not seen
trained because
this,
I was
Rich.
faffing
So I'm
around.
very much looking forward.
Faffing around is like fiddle farting around, which is something we say in Kentucky, so I'm going to say fiddle farting around.
You
So
really
it's a-
enjoyed the
it's a-
matches
what
you
does
saw,
that mean?
Peter, and I'm very pleased to hear that. So, yeah,
It means
Dupes Nice there
dragging your
drops
heels
the phrase
procrastinating.
fiddle farting around, which is probably one of the most
Okay, yeah, no,
American
you're right, yeah.
phrases I've heard. But yeah, it is the equivalent
You
of
heard it
faffing
here,
around,
I
just
don't.
sort of
Anyway, yeah,
putting
you're
things
right.
off
just sort of
and yeah.
wasting time, doing unnecessary
Fiddle
things,
fart.
not really having
There
a
we go.
decisive plan.
Okay.
Very good.
You didn't even get a chance to answer.
Yeah, okay. Well, we're going to go on to
Now, what
Rails.
else have
What
we
for that
got
one or
here?
the next one?
Wouldn't I be famfing or whatever if I did that?
Hey,
Now you need to define what fiddle farting around
we
is. for
are
those that-
defining faffing around right now, trainer. So perfect. Thank you for helping.
Oh yeah, I did a little segment at the prize wall
And,
as well, explaining to
actually,
trainers
there's so
what
much
they
fun.
can
You
get
have,
who
side
aren't
events
competing,
for, VG,
competing in the
for
side
TCG,
events,
for
and then you
Pokemon
exchange
Go.
them for
So
prizes
anything you
at
like,
the
you can,
prize
play,
wall. Hello Ace, did you have a good
have fun.
EUIC? Good
And
to
then,
see you here.
I
Looking
don't
forward to
know, we have
debriefing with
mostly
you.
everything,
Words,
anything
phrases
for
that
the
were
points
cut.
you
I don't
get.
think there were
From an
actually, Peter.
exchange, yeah. Can you
We
tell us more about
planned
the
to
VG side
film
events?
with
Not
other
quite
like
sure, to be
Pokemon
honest,
Go,
but I think you have your team,
Amanda.
Pokemon
No, was
team,
it
and
Amanda?
you are
No, it was
battling each
Will
other,
and
of course,
Leo
you
Koenig
win the
as well.
points.
There were 4 segments
absolutely.
planned for
I
the
think in
Britishisms,
previous
but we only
years
had time to film
I've experienced
2,
things like Chaos
unfortunately.
Cup,
But it was
where
still
you have
a lot of fun
predetermined
to do.
teams that have a certain
Asking to use it in a
people.
sentence.
Maybe they're
Yeah, I know what you
all
mean,
one
Jay. I know what you
type
mean.
against
But
up against
we were
another,
told
one particular
that they could
type
ask
of
if they could
team,
use it in a
and
sentence.
you
So
can gather
there
with
we go.
friends, there are
You met them in the
on-demand events
venue,
as well,
Rachel. Very
all
cool.
sorts
They're
of
so silly.
ways for
Yeah,
trainers
they
to
do.
test their battling prowess and
They're
slightly
really
more
friendly. They're
relaxed
really friendly
side
on there,
events
Rachel.
too. So,
They're brilliant.
Mishka, I've got to ask you.
I
if you
know. I'm
were
ashamed I didn't
exchanging
bump into
prizes
you as
here,
well.
let's say you
but
had all the points
there
in
we
the
go.
world.
There we go.
What would you want?
So
That one. The
we did the
Slowpoke
prize
or
wall
the
stuff.
Psyduck.
This was
Look at them, they're
pre-recorded rather
amazing.
than live.
Huge and amazing. I mean, the only problem with them, we don't know how to
What's
get them
next?
through the
Oh
airport.
yeah,
you
so
know?
there I am on the desk with Lee. So it's interesting. I was on the first round of the day, and then rounds 5, 6, and 8. I was filming things like that very prize wall segment you saw just then in between, as well as helping out with other things, but not casting until later on in the day, really, doing round 1, but then 5, 6, and 8. Over the course of the day, I felt my throat start to feel a little bit sore. And I know there were other casters who have been talking about something going around, some kind of bug, and they too had a bit of a sore throat, and I thought, oh no. Because again, I mentioned earlier I have cystic fibrosis, that makes me more vulnerable to bugs and things like that. And in fact, after Birmingham, I got ill as well. I had to go on a 2-week course of antibiotics. And I was just hoping I really don't want to have to do that again. And also, of course, I don't want to lose my voice. We're here at EUIC. But I was feeling steadily worse as the day went on. It's interesting because if I'd been casting some of the earlier rounds, then could have done them before I started to feel bad. But I was very pleased to be doing the rounds later in the day because, you know, doing the final Swiss round of the day with Lee on the desk was a joy. But yeah, we were holding out, but I was feeling slightly nervous at that point. But anyway, we reach Swiss round 5. Hopefully we're...
It's great food, really good food.
Okay, and this was another gag that I did with Lee on the desk. I was quite pleased with this one. We'll go from here. Okay, so we're about to get into the stream. You hung out with some of the other merry folk. Very good, and that evening. Fantastic to hear that. It's fantastic to hear that. Discord community link below, everybody, by the way, if you would like to hop in there. We're a friendly bunch. Please do like and subscribe if you're enjoying. I've got all my socials linked below as well. I'm at Chazingdra across everything. So see you there. Cut back to me and Lee doing a little dance. You clipped it. Oh, great. Look forward to seeing that, Riley. Oh, I remember that now, actually. I remember that now. How much logo do we have to... you clipped it as well and you sent it on Twitter. I'm so glad. Here we go.
Lee, I know that Deoxys is a special Pokemon to you. I warned Lee that I'd be opening with a joke and he's already losing it. I know Deoxys is a special Pokemon to you, Lee, but did you hear about the restaurant Deoxys opened in space? No. It's great food, really good food apparently, but absolutely no atmosphere. Welcome back, trainers. It's Charlie Merriman on the desk with Lee Provost. I gotta chuck out these things. Let's keep things merry, Lee. I've got a surname.
Yeah, so that was
I am, my friend. It's great to be behind the desk.
Deoxys joke I opened with Lee.
The Merriman name, definitely. It's not just a name.
And you can see there, as soon as I started looking at Lee, I started laughing, just because we had so much fun on the desk, and we frequently have the giggles, and it's so so fun to lean into. But I think we're also very good at shifting gears and just being more serious about things as well. So I appreciate you, Lee, for just going along with going along with those stupid jokes. Thank you for recommending the Discord, Ace. Yeah, I'd like to think that we're a friendly, merry folk. Oh yeah, and then Lee and I also wanted to discuss uniquely British desserts on the desk because there are some real treats.
It's a good idea.
I believe we start with baked Alaska, trifle, things like that. We wanted to give people the full Brit experience here at EUIC.
I feel like they'd have to go back in times like the 70s.
School kids, yeah, I agree, Riley, I agree.
Like baked Alaska.
Sorry, Jack, I won't still be going at 8, but thank you so much for hanging out. And you have a merry rest of your evening as well. So good to see you briefly yesterday, Jack, as well.
Base of meringue with cream.
And so there we go, discussing some British desserts. But anyway,
in there. You can have strawberries in there. Then you
where's
roll
our match?
That's right, isn't it?
Yeah. No, I think so.
Got this right. Yeah. So it's like a roll of meringue.
Okay, so there's
with
another
cream
little break. And there we go. So Jody and Joe. Now,
and two absolutely incredible
Joe with this Ditto team, and this was the team that went on to win the seniors division as well, piloted by Ian Larson. And Jody, yeah, with that Pelipper, which we haven't seen too much of actually with the return of Regulation Set G. Let me know if you need the stream audio to be quieter, by the way, if you want my voice right now to be louder. I got the opportunity to meet Jody for the first time. I've talked to Jody a lot in the past, but got to meet Jody for the first time on the Saturday, I believe. And it was so good to finally be able to meet in person. I actually gave him some food recommendations as well for while they were in London, which they followed, and I'm so pleased that they enjoyed it. It was Hibber, by the way, everybody. It's some of the best Middle Eastern food I've had here. That's in Holborn in London, for anyone who's around that area. Really, really friendly guy. Hello there, Ronnie. Good to see you. Hello, Sam. How does one bake Alaska? It's a good point. A very big oven, Sam, is all I can say to that. Exactly, baked Alaska, Ash. Yeah. Welcome in, Ronnie. I hope you're about to have an even merrier day with this EUIC debrief. So where did this go? It was Joe who won this match.
Really difficult situation, whichever way you look at it, because the Calyrex had taken so much damage at that point. Then I think just testament to how well Joe placed that Miraidon.
These Calyrex, they can just snowball. But that Calyrex Ice Rod on Joe's side is, of course, actually a Ditto. And we did see Ditto have some really good success at EUIC. Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, it's really interesting, isn't it? Because Jody was dealing respectable chip damage to everything on the
So cool that all the Merry Folk were able to hang out in person this weekend.
I wish I'd had that trick room set up so I could deal with both of Joe's Pokemon that little bit better. But
so then, let's skip ahead again. So Zero then got the chance to talk to Jody, and then I was on the desk with Lou and opened with another little gag. So hope you enjoy this incoming terrible, terrible, terrible joke. Oh, I could turn down the volume. I will do that. Thank you, Ronnie.
You know, Lou, I would open with a joke about a Weedle with a blunt stinger, but it'd be pointless. Welcome back, trainers. Charlie Merriman on the desk, providing that merriment for you. I'm glad you found it funny, Lou, because I feel like you're probably in a minority there, but it's with Lou Axos Gromy.
Yeah, I'm just glad that, you know...
Enjoy a little one-liner there about a Weedle with a blunt stinger. The British food slander, exactly, Rachel. Exactly. When you're surrounded by Spraggles and Doob Snacks, and far more coming from them, oh my goodness, I can't wait to tell you about what we were talking about on Sunday, but when you're surrounded by that level of non-Britishness, just a reminder of those desserts. Always appreciated. So, then we had, oh yeah, of course, we had Eden Bachelor, Stuttgart regional champion from a couple of months ago, going up against Yosuke Takiyanagi. Kyogre. Now, we'll get into the Pokemon we had our eyes on during the weekend in a moment. But I did make them up myself, Shay. I did, yeah. And I had a lot of fun doing them. I'm glad you're enjoying them. I thought you might. As a fellow merry person. Thank you so much, David. That's really kind of you. I'm pleased you enjoy it, because I have so much fun doing it. So to have that feedback really makes it all worthwhile. And welcome in, David. So good to see you. Still waiting for my next pick. Oh, I know, Ronnie. I know. I will get back to you. It's been an insanely busy day, but I will get back to you. Eden bring Kyogre. So Kyogre was my pick, restricted pick for the weekend. Mainly because we hadn't chose Groudon, to be honest. But we'll get into that in a moment. But Basculegion and Archaldon. Pokemon that you see more commonly in the previous regulation set that we had, but making a resurgence, which is really cool to see from Eden. And then, yeah, Yosuke, Taki, and Nagi went all the way through to the top 4, which was very exciting indeed. Nice Shiyu Fluttermane combination here, reducing the special defense of everything around, then Fluttermane can hit even harder. And yeah, Calyrex, as we saw with Ugarte and Jody, they just snowball so easily. I'm glad you enjoyed them, Shay. Thanks so much. I totally agree with you, Victor. Make a super clip of all my intro puns. You know what, David? That's on my to-do list. It certainly is. And as I said, I was vlogging and I planned to make a video of the whole EUIC commentating experience to give a little bit of a insight behind the curtain that isn't live. You know, taking my thoughts, taking the time to collect my thoughts, and like taking a bit of a deeper dive into how these matchups work for people who aren't so familiar with VG, perhaps like you, Shay, and for other people who are maybe just getting into competitive Pokemon. So I'm looking forward to doing that and just breaking down how it all works and the things that are on your mind when you're casting a matchup like this and other matchups too. Okay, so how does this matchup play out? Okay, so Yosuke won that. The translator's doing phenomenal work as well. Cannot thank them enough for bringing the insights of these trainers we don't get to hear from so often to us all. So then it was Ben and Lou.
I would like to thank all his friends in Japan for helping him for this way. And
was this the final round of it? No, okay, so that's still Ben and Lou.
Congratulations. Best of luck for the next matches, Ed tomorrow. As for us, 2 more great matches on the
and Yosuke, of course, went all the way to top 4, and that's huge because it means that Yosuke automatically qualifies, not automatically, earns their invitation from reaching top 4 at the European International Championships to the World Championships, which is huge because in Japan, I mean, it's huge anyway, but in Japan, the way their tournaments work are very different. They tend to be best of 1 closed team sheet, so it's all about the surprise factor. So the fact that Yosuke doesn't have to deal with that slightly more random element, I suppose, and is able to just go to the World Championships on the back of this is fantastic. I'm sure Yosuke is feeling a huge sense of relief from that. Very hard to understand the Japanese player's speech. Oh, cool. How did you do, Ace? We were able to understand some of what was being said. Okay, we've still got a minute of this, so let's see if we can skip ahead a little bit. Oh, okay, so then we had a lounge segment.
Day 1 at the European International Championships. The competition here has been amazing so far.
Oh, and then they threw straight to us to get into the game. But yeah, this is where I sort of hit Lee with one that really sort of really floored him, I think. This was the one that Play Pokemon clipped and shared as an individual video online. And you'll see that I could barely look at Lee without laughing just because we were having such a good time on the desk. 50% of the meaning, that's nice to hear, Ace. Closed team sheet, exactly, Shay, exactly. It's a completely different system. We had a few Japanese players over here aiming to reach that top 4 position, so the fact that Yosuke was able to do that was huge, absolutely huge. All right.
Lee, what kind of a dog Pokemon is Daxbun?
What have you opened with this?
Purebred. Welcome back, trainers. Charlie Merriman on the desk with Lee Pros. We're going to keep that straight going.
Makes me very merry to see how Lee reacts to that. I slightly feel sorry for Lee because he's going to have to compose himself to get into the last Swiss round of the day. It's a big deal. But I said, look, I'm opening each segment with a joke. We'll keep that going during all the Swiss rounds, and then we'll cut it for the top cut. But yeah, Osuke was lovely, weren't they, Sam? Really lovely. You howled. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Shay. Glad you enjoyed it. So, there's Wolf on screen. We'll talk more about Wolf later on, everybody. Gennaro and Matteo. We really wanted to feature Wolf on stream, and so to be able to do it on the last Swiss round of the day was really, really cool. And Koraidon as well. Miraidon has had so much more success than Koraidon, its Pokemon Scarlet counterpart. Just really, really, really cool. And it must have been so exciting for Gennaro to be on stage up against Wolf, of all players, at EUIC EUIC for the first time. And game 1 went to Gennaro. Game 2 went to Wolf, and then I'm pretty sure, yeah, Wolf claimed the victory overall.
I mean, you already had secured day 2 earlier
And then I think, yeah, I was on the couch closing out the show as well.
Every single match could have been, you know,
There's
the final round
Debbie.
that we featured
See
today.
Debbie there
Big
on the
name
screen?
after big name
That's the Debbie
claiming
behind me.
titles. So exciting
That
to
little
see
Goomy plush.
Gennaro, first big finish at a tournament in day 2. Even though losing to Wolf in the previous round, hope you're feeling proud of yourself, Gennaro.
I do hope you're feeling proud of yourself, Gennaro. Really nice to wrap up the show on day 1. Oh yeah, Ben with the Kingdra in his pocket. So basically, Ben, in the first Swiss round of the day, I like his hair swept back more like that, actually. I need to give him that note. At the start of the day, Ben nicked my Kingdra plush and put it in his pocket and was like, "You're not getting this back." And I was like, "Mate, that is absolutely fine by me. That is just more Kingdra propaganda on stream," which you know I always love to promote. The good word of Kingdra. It's another reason why I'm such a big fan of Wolf, of course, because using Kingdra to win the Toronto Regional Championships. So yeah, Kingdra's chilled in Ben's pocket all day, which I love. Thank you so much for spreading the good word for me, Ben. Glad you enjoyed the joke, Alex. So many great matches picked for the stream. I'm so pleased you enjoyed them, Rachel. It really was hype, wasn't it? Have been wondering how many of the couch plushies belong to casters. Yeah, my actual plan had been to sneak Kingdra onto the couch so that it's there for every single game. You know, TCG and Go and Unite, it's just there chilling. But having it in Ben's pocket was fantastic. All right, so that's day 1. And then that night, yeah, as I said, I was feeling progressively worse over the course of the day. That night, I headed to bed at like 9:30, or at least I headed back to my room at like 9:30, and I was asleep maybe 45 minutes later. I slept for 8 hours that night, on and off. It was, in fact, no, total probably 8 hours, because again, my call time was 10 in the morning the next day. Obviously, opening the show on the Friday, I had to be there much earlier, but 10 in the morning was my call time in the makeup chair. It was 7 in the morning in the makeup chair the previous day. So I was able to sleep for longer. I guess it did help me to feel better. I still woke up with a pretty sore throat. I was having Lemsips. That's, you know, a warm sort of paracetamol powder drink, just add hot water sort of thing. If nothing else, it's just drinking something warm is really helpful for the throat. Steam gets to the vocal cords 4 times quicker than liquid. So if you're feeling your voice is ropey, you need to use it. Breathing in some steam is a really good way, or just having a steamy shower, or just pouring a warm mug of something and just breathing in the steam without necessarily even drinking it is really helpful. So I was definitely doing that. Yeah, and then so Lou and Lee were opening for the first 2 games on day 2. Oh, that's not the right. Here we go, VG day 2. So now we can talk about the caster predictions. So, yeah, thank you, Rachel. I'm feeling better now. It's partly to do with the aircon in the venue as well, but having slept really well last night, I feel like maybe, I don't know if it even was illness, maybe it was just overuse, or just like a passing thing, you know? But yeah. Production team making accommodations for CF. That's a really good question, Rachel. It's something that after this event in particular, I'm going to think about more carefully, like how to approach what precautions I tell people to take, because really it's mainly just me who has to take the precautions and things. But yeah, certainly the people who need to know are aware. And having said that, though, again, there aren't too many precautions that other people can take, really. It's just it's keeping an eye on myself more than anything else. But thank you for that really thoughtful question, Rachel. It tends to be the case, Peter, that, you know, I can't go into too much detail on this, but basically Jake and I, with our background in acting and improvising, we like to play with things a little bit. We know the beats that we have to hit, essentially. Pokemon broadcast site. Yeah, well, I'm glad, Riley. It's actually pretty new, the Pokemon.com/broadcasts page. Just having them all in one place, really, really helpful. Vapor rubbing kettle water in a big bowl. Ooh, yeah. That's true. That's a really good shout out, Alex, for recovering your voice. Did feel the temperature was a bit strange in the venue. I know what you mean, Ace. I know what you mean. Anyway, so these are the caster predictions. I have a running gag about Ditto where whatever I say it again for deja vu purposes. I have a running gag about Ditto where whatever I say, I'll say it again for deja vu purposes, because it's a Pokemon that copies whatever's directly opposite it. Ben was all in on Groudon, so I was like, yeah, I'll go for Kyogre. Also because I thought it genuinely had a chance. It came second in Birmingham. It won San Juan just a week before EUIC. Kingdra, because of course. And of course, it synergizes so well with the Kyogre. It sets up the rain, boosts setting up the swift swim ability. The Dondozo is really there for the Dondozo-Ting-Lu combination that we saw Dawei C do so well with at the San Antonio Regional Championships, slowing things down. But, yeah, it's standing in for both of those Pokemon. Of course, Dondozo benefits from the rain as well. I wanted to have some synergy between my picks. Then Ben went all in on the sun. Lee kind of sold out, right? 3 of those Pokemon are from the world's winning team last year. To be fair, he's probably the most accurate of all of us. Blubminess Luna being the outlier there, but it's a really nice shout out to that. We actually didn't see too many Blubminess Luna at all. Then Lou going for the Trapagos, which is cool because Marco was running it, Francesco Piapera was running it, and he had a fantastic run. Smeargle's a really good shout. Incineroar has to be there. She loves the cats, and also, of course, it did so well. And it was a really good call, actually, especially considering what Pokemon Wolf was left with in the endgame of the Grand Finals and Gastrodon, because, of course. And then Sierra with the Ditto to Volcarona. As opposed to the Slitherwing, really fascinating. She loves to call out the Slitherwing. But, yeah, Volcarona does provide a lot of utility in this format. Of course, Landorus Incarnate, huge. With Sheer Force and Life Orb, massive. You're allergic to paracetamol, Alex. I'm sorry to hear that. Hello, Double T. Good to see you. Well, this is exactly what the stream's all about, Double T. My thoughts on EUIC after the weekend. So, hope we're looking forward to them. Looking forward to hearing a little bit more about the event from a caster's perspective. How was your weekend? I hope you had a good one, Double T. Not a Koraidon Insight. Exactly, Riley. Exactly. We did not call it. We did not call the Koraidon. Yeah, I wouldn't have done. I wouldn't have done. So, those were our caster predictions. And then, so we had our Day 2 Swift players. That's it. We had Carl Livinghouse versus... Oh, that was too far back. Kyle Livinghouse versus... Oh, come on. Frederick Nielsen, that's it. Frederick was one of our players to watch this weekend too. Frederick and his brother Nikolai have had incredible results in grassroots tournaments with this Sneasler team. Sneasler's obviously a Pokemon that did really well in Regulation Set H. But believing it in Regulation Set G, and they've reached the finals, or, at least top cut of these grassroots tournaments. So it's amazing to see it be doing so well for them. EUIC is actually Koraidon's first ever major event win. I think they were in Regulation Set G last time we had it. There was a tournament in maybe Lima, I want to say. Don't quote me on that. That Koraidon won. But certainly its biggest finish. And there haven't been too many of them that... too many incredible finishes for Koraidon. So how did this match go? It was Kyle in the end. Yeah, Kyle was running this Galarian Weezing team, of course, shutting off the abilities of all the Pokemon on the field. And it's a really tricky strategy to play against if you're not prepared. So very cool to see that team do so well. Hello, Lithorium. Good to see you, and so good to see you in the audience. I enjoyed giving you a little point in that closing ceremony, Lithorium. It was it's always so supportive to see your face there. Hope you enjoyed EUIC. What were your thoughts in it? Yeah, if you have questions as you go along, everybody, please do chuck them in the chat. And also, if you were there, let me know about your time at EUIC, what you got from the Pokemon Center, what you enjoyed about the event, etc. Right, so then Ben and I were on for another game. Oh, what's happened here? Because I think we were doing 2 matches each. Did we even cast this? I'm sure it did. I'm sure we did. Oh, no, we didn't. We didn't. Yeah, no, it was later that... hey, Shay, there you are. Hey, there's Shay, everybody. Hosting the activity stage. EUIC did a fantastic job. Make sure you check out. Make a note of the timestamp. Watch this interview Sierra did with Shay. Such a wonderful presence on camera. 107.20 on day 2. Everybody make sure you check that out. Yeah, so here we go. That was still Lou and Lee doing Wolf and Luca. And then, oh, this video with Ava is so cute as well. So that's me and Ben. Oh yeah, we did open with a joke actually, because we were still in our Swiss rounds. Let's see if I can find that.
I love that. I want to know now that you've got that top guide. Like,
EUIC was insane. It really was insane, wasn't it? The forum. It was one for the history books.
Rest of this tournament?
Oh, Dill doing so well. My highlight. We'll get into highlights and favourite matches at the end of the stream, I think, before and I'll be streaming for about another half an hour, everybody, just so you know.
I really don't want to stop and want to keep winning every set I can. I don't want to give my opponent one free turn. I want to really dominate, and yeah, this is my my goal for this tournament. And then go in cut and keep going strong, yeah.
mean, definitely wish you the best of luck in that. I want to make sure you can rest up a little bit for your next round.
Got an Ogbon shirt and a Raichu plush from the center. Very nice,
Best
Ace.
of luck. I'm sure we'll see you later.
Oh, nice. You're able to
As for us, the competition, we still
go
got
with
more
someone
Swiss.
+1.
We'll be back right soon with that.
Ben, why did the Kamala fail its job interview?
I don't know, Charlie. Why did the Kamala fail its job interview?
Didn't have the necessary qualifications. Welcome back, trainers, to the stream. It's Charlie Merriman on the desk with Ben Kiriakou.
That was the opening gag.
We are raring to go on day 2.
He really enjoyed that one, didn't he? It's a pretty poor joke, and yeah. That's why I said I felt like he was giving you too much credit.
I'm sorry. No, the great. No.
Thank you.
They get bad enough, they become great again.
We decided on the +1 minimum pins. It had to be done. We were the, you know, as a duo that weekend, as a caster pair, and you know, charging each other up. And I really like to think about all those tiny details that go into it. I think from the viewer's perspective, it's just those little touches, that little bit of polish that really elevates the entire stream.
Basically guaranteeing his spot in our asymmetrical top
so then this game we had
to get a little bit of extra damage.
Shohei Kimura, 2023 World Champion against Taron Verdi. So UK versus Japan, Perth regional champion from a few years ago up against World Champion from 2023, poor Ben. Well, apparently Ben enjoyed the jokes. Pure gold. Oh, thank you so much, Double T. I'll pass that on to Ben. That's really lovely to hear. I'm glad you enjoyed that. We enjoyed it too. Do make an event. Yeah, it would have been great to see you there, Alex. Totally understand, of course. So, Shohei won that one. Weren't these graphics incredible, by the way, everybody? The golden sparks, little tiles featuring different Pokemon with the color code of each game. Love to see it. It was so hype. It was just such a good event. We certainly did have a blast. I just certainly did have a blast. Viewer/listener, you love a good joke upon another place. Good. Because you know I'm all about that, Lithorium. So, what joke do we have coming up next?
Opportunity. You can't spell window without win.
You can't spell window without win, it's true. So in 30 seconds we'll get into the next Swiss round joke. Papa Hotline, thank you so much. Oh, I'm so glad you thought we made it enjoyable, Papa Hotline. That's very kind of you. Welcome to the stream. Hope your day's about to get even merrier. Please do like and subscribe if you're enjoying, everybody. This little peek behind the curtain of a caster's perspective on the event. I want to provide something a little bit unique in that regard. So if you're enjoying it, likes and subscribes would show me that you want to see more of this sort of thing. Alright, here's the next joke.
Ben, why are Wishy-Washy so smart?
I don't know, Charlie. Why are Wishy-Washy so smart?
Because they live in schools. Welcome back, traders. We're at EUIC.
That's arguably my worst joke. Arguably my worst.
It's going to be Swiss
Ben with his head in his hand, of course. Great to see those clips from around the venue too.
They've been coming out thick and fast all
my hair's gone a little bit crazy there, haven't they? Hasn't it? I think, you know, over the course of the weekend, so much product was put into my hair, hairspray, etc., that was bound to happen at some point. But I think I made it, I sort of sorted it out over the course of the day. Imagine Ben just got all serious and went, no, Charlie, not again. Well, frankly, I can see him doing that. Zoinks! Good to see you. Everybody unfamiliar, Zoinks in the chat. Pokemon Unite caster, Josh Hebert. I featured on my podcast as well, Chazingdra chats. That's linked below. Discover Josh's life story and the 6 Pokemon on his stream team. I featured Shay as well. A lot of the casters in the stream as well. So good to see you, Zoinks. Always a pleasure to hang out with you backstage. Such a positive presence. So thank you for your energy and appreciate you being here, Zoinks. Apparent worst joke, but it was still good. Well, thank you, Ash. I'm pleased you enjoyed. That means a lot. Hey, Doob. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for stopping by. Everybody who's just seen Doob on that little segment I did with Spraggle and Doob, where they were leaning in close to the microphone in the Britishisms segment. Thank you for joining. Hope I make your day merry, Doob. So cool to see you in the chat. Doob and Zoinks having a little bit of a reunion. Did you both get back okay? Did you both get home okay? So Code Tsukide versus Mao Harada. 2 traders from Japan. Again, so much more on the line for players from Japan because if they reach top 4, they get their Worlds invite, and ordinarily they would have to go through a best-of-1 closed team sheet tournament to acquire those points. So a lot on the line for them. And as I said, it's just such a pleasure to feature trainers from regions we don't get to feature so much on our regional streams. So it's Ko versus Mao. Can't remember how this match went in the end, actually.
It is no easy feat, let alone being
looks like it was Ko who won. Glad all was good for you, dude. So sad you didn't get to do the Britishism. I know, Zoinks, I know. I wish too that we've been able to. It's so much fun to host. And I wish I'd been able to pick your brains. I think you've been quite good at it as well, Zoinks. The Pokemon greats, Rachel. You're too kind, you're too kind. These are the Pokemon greats, dude, and Zoinks. Great to have you both here. Oh, here we go, perfect timing. Oh, then just when we were talking about fiddle farting as well, dude. Fiddle farting around for faffing around. Oh, Jake was so funny here.
You'll see some of his works
Bagsy.
selling for millions of dollars. Bagsy's incredible. Yeah, yeah. Oh wait, you use it in a sentence.
A cartoon bunny often hunted by Elmerfoot.
Okay, right, okay. Bagsy. Oh, I love that T-shirt. I Bagsy it.
You studied. You watched a lot of Peaky Blinders. Yeah, it's true. I remember you saying those. Japanese players' names. Yeah, so we do actually. We heard pronunciations of their names
You are stealing a shirt.
on the desk, which was really, really helpful, so that we could do them justice. But really good question, Ace. All right, so then I think this is Lou and Lee casting this. Yes, that's right.
We would have never been able to guess it.
So much fun this. I wish we also do Spraggles and I, and with Zoinks as well, we could have done just more content together. It was so much fun.
Fiddle farting here, dude.
Well, it's your word. It's not like we're supposed to guess based on it's whatever.
All right, moving
Oh,
on. Next
and
word.
then, yeah, I think we had a bit of the, yeah, that's the second segment I did with Skarzig and Tablemon, Pablo Meza. Explaining Cockney rhyming slang was uniquely satisfying to people who aren't from the UK, because it's like, how is anyone going to understand that? If you're not familiar, yeah. Going up the apples and pears means going up the stairs, because pears rhymes with stairs, but then sometimes people truncate it and just say going up the apples to mean going up the stairs. That sort of thing. Telling porcupines meaning telling lies, so therefore you just say telling porkies. That's it in a nutshell. That's it in a nutshell. Hey, Alberto, good to see you. Everybody, please take a moment to acknowledge Alberto R. Nunez in the chat. Alberto is working backstage as the subject matter expert, so-called. Did the best job, literally the best job, providing so many key facts about players and when they'd met before in the tournament and their history, accomplishments they'd had. It really added such a new layer of depth to the stream. Thank you to Alberto. I'll give you a round of applause. Please can we get some thank yous to Alberto in the chat, because Alberto really elevated the stream. Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed that, Papa Hotbine. Bagsy, yeah, exactly. So good. Someone on Discord named their Smiggle Bagsy because of the joke. I love it, Peter. I love it. Meet international friends at EUIC. Yes, it's true. Yes, you're right, Alex. I was able to do that. It was so good to be able to meet people like Riley Factura in person for the first time. Jody Azarelli. Caught up with Ashton Cox as well. Wolf as well. Was able to talk to Wolf. So yeah, it was really cool. It was really cool.
All right, final one here. Knackered.
One Britishism you always say now. Rocking up. Ooh, okay.
Very good. Very good.
Even you hardly understand rhyming slang. Yeah, Zoinks, it is kind of crazy, isn't it? It is crazy. Thank you for the hype for Alberto, everybody. Teach you those slang words. Well, over the course of the next streams, you'll learn. All right. Thank you, everybody, for the hype for Alberto. Hugely deserved.
In the next bit.
So I think, yeah, so as we get into Top Cut, I cut doing the jokes, which, you know, things get more serious. I didn't feel right for it, but Taran Birdie versus Joseph Ugarte. So, Joe Ugarte, we all know that name. Taran Birdie, UK player. Taran running essentially the team that won Worlds last year, and Joe running very much their own take. And again, I love to see Ditto just not only transforming into whatever Pokemon is directly opposite it, but gaining all of the stat boosts that they've received too. It's so menacing. Joe probably also has a lot more experience going up against Taran's team than Taran does against Joe's, because it's so unique, so that's something to take into account as well.
NAIC in 2022. Could Joe go all the way? Could Taran go all the way? We're going to be whittling this down very shortly.
Oh no, I think it was Taran who came out on top here, yeah. Yeah, it was. Incredible to see. And see how much it meant to Taran.
Cannot believe this. First regional champion from a couple of
to take down a name like Joe Ugarte.
From hundreds of players
really, really exciting. Hello, Heath. Shame we didn't run across each other in EUIC. You weren't there nor anywhere near there, but it's still a shame. It is still a shame, Ethan. Thanks so much for being here. Hope you're about to have an even merrier day. And then, our next top 8, we were able to cast Wolf versus Team Masso. Team had an incredible run during the tournament. The Clefairy there, there, threatening for redirection, of course. We featured Wolf on stream a good number of times over the weekend. And you know,
Worth noting that Wolves
was doing so well, reaching top 8, it was hard not to.
Is directed into that slot. The Amogus will still, for one time, be able to get off one of its support moves.
Koraidon versus Calyrex Shadow Rider.
Then it will be vulnerable.
An interesting one.
Trainers. The Flutter main putting in so much work, and the Terra Normal. You know, we often see the trainer that goes for the terrestrialization early doors in the game.
So it's top 8. Talking to our man in Parview, told you about Cockney. Inspired you to write about that in your sociolinguistics seminar. That's so cool. That's so cool, Peter. I love linguistics. Merriman and the Merriman. That's right. That's right, Heath. Love to hear it. Their team had just knocked out 2 world champions in a row. That's right. Exactly this kind of fact that Alberto was writing for us. Yeah, 2 world champions in a row. It was going up against a third, but Wolf did win that one. So hype. So hype. And then Lewin Lee took over for the next top 8 games, and then it was back to me and Ben. So, top 4A, Wolf versus Taran. Huge match, really huge match. I believe Taran took this to 3 games.
And the community at large.
Taran Birdie, a player who
which is no mean feat.
Of interviewing on a separate
Shame we didn't. Oh, Cam Wolfmeat, good to see you, my friend. Welcome in. Yeah, I really wish I'd see you in at EUIC. Oh, very uniquely weird reason. Yes, exactly, Cam Wolfmeat, exactly. Well, I hope you had a good time. Did you have a good weekend? I hope you did.
Achievements to their name, hoping to capitalize on them here.
Thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate it.
Not just at the
okay, and so this, as we know, went Wolf's way, but
if you haven't seen it already this
weekend, well, maybe it didn't go to 3 games. No, it didn't. No, Wolf just won both. I think the first game was longer than the second.
What a great switch up there.
Correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Wolf knock out all the UK players within the top 8? You're probably right, Little Room. I can't remember off the top of my head, but that sounds about right to me. And then, of course, we had Dill versus Ko, and Dill played this game so well. Now, a fun fact here is that a UK player, the last UK player, the only UK player to have reached top 4 at an international championships up to this point was none other than the person talking right now, Ben Kiriaki, who I was casting with on the desk. And then, of course, Dill was able to go one step further and reach the grand final. So Ben is delighted for Dill, but also, I think, slightly disappointed that his record's been broken, but incredible.
Of course, Calyrex Ice Rider, the restricted Pokemon of choice, Glacial Lance, High Horsepower, Trick Room, and Protect.
By this point, my voice was going, but I think it was covered pretty well, actually. Especially because later in the competition, you're bringing even more hype and you're bellowing. But I don't think it came across too badly, fortunately. Glad you had a great time, Cam Wolfmeat. Seeing from afar, at least, to the commentary. Well, thanks so much, Cam Wolfmeat. I wish I'd seen you from afar as well. Histories and connections are what really got you invested into VGC, even though you only started the season. So thanks, Alberto. Yeah, thank you, Peter. Kind words indeed, and hugely appreciated from Alberto, I'm sure. And there you go, the crowd goes wild for Dill. And Dill literally had their head in that. Look at this. Just keeping themselves together. Just cannot believe it. It was so beautiful to see. Wolfglick. This is when we knew who the finalists were. Dill Yeomans versus Wolfglick. It's
been a very long time since a UK representative was able
to
make
hometown hero. And this was possibly my favourite moment of the entire weekend right here. Yosuke has just lost. He's just been knocked out. But he's loving it. He's so congratulatory of Dill, and it just makes Dill even more emotional. What I say there, warm my heart all the more. Just that camaraderie between the trainers on stage. Again, Yosuke at this point has made it to the World Championships, got that direct invitation.
EUIC, and it doesn't end here.
Have gotten all the way to
yeah, just so heartwarming that moment. I absolutely love to see it. Sound absolutely fine through it all. Oh, good. Well, you're allowed to hear over our chance. Thank you so much for throwing on. Pleased to hear that. Wow, what a way to wrap up the second day. And then, yeah, it was Sierra and Lewin Lee in the lounge. So that brings us into Championship Sunday. And the first thing, I meant to cue this up before, actually. But the first thing I want to show you from this is the watch party stream. Because, yeah, there it is. There's something they tried out for the first time this year. more casual stream, hoping to get viewers who aren't so familiar with the games invested. And it was so much fun.
Some very, very cool moments, actually. I like it. Did win.
Look at this, the Unite finals, and it's just people chilling on the couch. It's very much a more chilled vibe. And talking about whatever you want to talk about. People who are more experts of the game, like James Kirk here, who did a phenomenal job this weekend. Appreciate it, James. Huge congratulations. Teaching everyone else here about how Unite works.
As well. It's one of those things where
So that's Unite, and then we had a bit of Go. I was there in Go for some point. Oh, that's right. Yeah, it was the Masters finals.
And then throw. So both trainers.
Which is not here. Oh yeah, there I am, chilling out with Doob and Spraggles.
But I know it littered the rest of the top 8. I know there was 6.
So it was really cool to see, and then we got into the trading card game.
Oh.
Then of course the video game too.
When someone pops off
And Adam Doricott, everybody, that's a bit of a blast from the past, isn't it? Adam now helps backstage with trading card game, the graphics. But to have Adam on the stream there, going through VG as well as TCG was so exciting. So this is the point where I have to tell you about what Doob and Spraggles were talking to us about on that couch. So basically, they had this running question over the course of the day. Top 10 birds. What are your top 10 birds? And specifically, where Eagle ranks among them. I was like, I think Eagle's 9 for me. And they were like, no, it's not. It's got to be higher than that. In their mind, 2 to 6 is the only correct options. Number 1 is a little bit much. Nothing below that, you're wrong. And I was trying to explain to them. I think if you're US based, you're going to have more affinity to the Eagle than from the UK. But anyway, this kept going on as a joke all day, and I'll get back to how that ended up. But yeah, the whole top 10 birds thing was a thing on the Sunday. Anyway, so it was Ben and I casting the juniors and seniors finals.
Pokemon Unite, Pokemon Go, Pokemon trading card game. That leaves 1, trainers. We've reached the Pokemon video game.
And it was so exciting to cast the juniors and seniors because we tend not to be able to see that age division on stream. Get a little insight into their play style, how their metagame is developing, and such cool storylines between these two. So the juniors finals was between a LAIC champion from this year and the LAIC champion from last year. Huge, absolutely massive. And Ismail reached the EUIC finals last year as well.
On our Pokemon streams and
incredible stuff.
These traders have to
you found it helpful to have the watch party? Yeah, exactly. I too will go back and check out that watch party because so much utility to gain out of that. Respect to Stamina for casting, throw is still absolutely sharp. Right. I think some of the things I learned at drama school about warming up and so on really helps maintain the throw.
Let's take a look
stamina.
at how the format is going to be working.
So that caster can deliver and contribute an extra layer of depth. Oh, well, thank you, Alberto, but no, this is all on you. You deserve all the praise for your hard work during the weekend.
Rounds, 3 days of competition, reaching the finals.
I'm glad you think it's a great idea, Ash. It certainly was. Okay, so
both of them.
Ben and I bring in the hype here for the finals.
Going faster under normal conditions, therefore last in this trick.
I was pleased with my work here. I was pleased with my work. And actually, just before the junior finals, my girlfriend arrived. She was spectating for the juniors and seniors. She doesn't really follow Pokemon at all. She doesn't really know what's going on in competitive Pokemon. So it was really kind of her, and it really just made my day to see my girlfriend. So shout out to her. Got to be quite lots of big names like Wolf, Aurelian, Taran, James Bet. Very cool. Very cool to hear it, Ben. I hope you enjoyed the insights they provided. Yeah, maybe 60 plus. It's a really good point, actually, Peter. It's a really good point. Haven't thought about that. Watching bits of the watch party, looks everyone was having a blast. Yeah, they really were, Alberto. It was such a lovely vibe. Think of drama takes back to your school days. Yeah, Alex. Alberto chant. Exactly. Let's go, Alberto. Definitely deserves it. Definitely deserves it. My voice is feeling better on this day than it was on the
dimensions have now returned to normal.
Previous day. And look at this, Fabian just absolutely over the moon.
Fabian didn't need the Ndidi who
Claiming the win against Ismail. So Ismail comes second for a second time at EUIC, but I mean, that consistency is unbelievable. I think I'm about to say that here.
Not at all. I mean,
in fact,
it
I
takes
just said it there,
a very skilled trader to be able to do that, absolutely. And especially in a
just
matchup,
look at the venue. It's so
they
cool.
did
And look how
actually
packed it is. You can see the
play
heads
in this
behind me and Ben
tournament,
there, as well as
it was
the
the
mini.
Ndidi that was able to bring Fabian to that win in that matchup. So to find another win condition in this matchup,
that was the juniors finals.
So impressive for Fabian.
Well, Ben, I want to hear from our VG junior
And you can check out the interview
Let's
did
kick it
with,
to the
or
stage.
Sierra did with Fabian.
Let's hear from your Europe International Championships 2025 Junior VG Champion.
Huge round of applause. Congratulations for you.
On VA side of the field.
So then, Ian Larson versus Louis Fonvier. Louis Fonvier on an absolute tear. He's won the previous, again, this is all facts from Alberto, so thank you, Alberto. Won the previous 3 regional level events, so it was Stuttgart, Gdansk, and Lille, I suppose it would have been. And so on the course for the back-to-back-to-back-to-back, if they won EUIC, then Ian Larson, a trader who was running, excuse me, you can still hear I'm a little bit under the weather, running a team similar to, or exactly the same as Joseph Ugate's with the Ditto and the Volcarona. And yeah, just made really decisive, confident plays, and it really paid off for them. Supported partner, exactly. Saw someone mentioning that junior, senior, and master winners look like an evolution line. Interesting, Peter. I hadn't thought about that, but maybe you're right, yeah. Birmingham. Oh, that's right, Birmingham. Thank you, Alberto. Thank you.
On his way to EUIC, this could be the 4th in a row.
So then, Ian
knocked out
just
by 2- Draco Meteor from this Miraidon. So
going for a big Draco Meteor turn 1 of games 1 and 3, taking out the overbomb, giving so much breathing room.
As well. It can drop down the damage of that Landorus coming in and mean that Miraidon isn't quite under as much.
Urshifu versus Urshifu, what a perfect way to end our senior division EUIC track through this EUIC. Urshifu has been dominant in the usage stats all weekend, and here they are staring each other down. That little bit of chip damage on Louis, though, could be crucial. Soaking this up, this game is slowly but surely coming to a wrap.
Ian playing this game very, very
Ditto
well.
chance mid-game. Yeah, they certainly were, Ben. Yeah, I remember hearing those in the venue. So yeah, this is it. This is the deciding moment. Ian Larson beats Louis Fonvier.
It's going to be the KO. We have our senior EUIC champion, Ian Larson.
And the pyrotechnics, look at that. Support from family. Beautiful. It's these moments that the game is all about. Just the support, the love coming out of the trainers.
What a close game between
incredible.
These 2 trainers.
And that took us into the Masters finals, of course.
So much damage in the electric train and we'll be able
Dill versus Wolf. And listen to those cheers.
Dill Wolf in the worst position there with the trick room still
We don't tend to hear the
active,
crowd so
not
loudly
able
on the
to
stream,
reposition,
but they
the
were
trick room
just
doesn't
loving
end.
it.
You can see why
And
double
yeah,
protect from
Dill
Incineroar
claiming
would have
game
been
1.
so useful there. It would have and just utilizing
Wolf
that
claiming
move,
game
it's not going
2.
to take as much recoil damage.
Yes, I really like the play.
Let's go, Dylan. Exactly, Litorium. Masters finals, incredible. It was incredible. It was.
Yeah, and a big trade here.
Cannot
The
overestimate
Urshifu
that.
essentially has been traded for the Korai.
Let me just take a moment to acknowledge that, actually. The cheers certainly were amazing, Victor. I haven't heard a crowd so loud in the venue before. And they were so responsive to what we were saying. There were points where Ben and I were like, make some noise, and then Ben might repeat, keep going, and they'd give us another cheer. It was so exciting, especially on the Championship Sunday when we were out there casting on the couch area as opposed to being backstage at the caster desk. You're just in amongst it all, and it was so thrilling. It was such a thrill to be a part of. So, you thought Wolf had lost, Alex? Interesting. Dill vs. Wolf might have been the best match you've seen so far. Yeah. It was... The energy was electric. Crowd was so loud. It really was an incredible final, Rachel, wasn't it?
On here. I don't know if Wolf will be happy with that.
Was,
the trade of the restricted 4.
Is able to move first. It's
as I say,
be
one for the history books.
Knockout.
Unforgettable.
Can go for the flare blitz here into Miraidon. It's not enough to get the KO though. Wolf looking devastated due to the special drop. Burn coming through, but is it going to be too little too late? Miraidon in play to be able to still get a huge amount of damage off here with the electro drift. It is moving before the Flutter main.
Here we go, which is an into the Flutterman, and it is.
So Wolf told me that at that moment he knew he'd won. Because of course the Frigoroth matches up so poorly into the Incineroar.
That special defense drop coming in for Dill.
I've seen some chat in the comments about, oh, the casters didn't know, the crowd didn't know that was the turn, but
Incineroar now facing down against the Miraidon and the Frigoroth, but it's a
they
2v1
did.
situation.
They did. They're keeping up the atmosphere. They're keeping up the intensity. They're keeping up the
So you can
excitement.
protect maybe with Incineroar.
And of course, yeah, you have protect with Incineroar, and especially with the burn on the Miraidon. It'd be interesting to ask, you know, without the burn,
and get rid of it. That might be a way out because then. The Incineroar
Wolf could have secured this game.
It only has Psychic, and that would be easy enough for Incineroar to do. So let's see if that is what we're going to see play out here. It's going to come right down to it.
The crowd really was something special. Yeah, that's it. The Frigoroth can't do anything.
Oh, it is into the Miraidon.
Oh, wow, okay.
So it is
so the Psychic just into the Miraidon just because Dill knows that's nothing
Incineroar,
they can
because
do.
of the Trick Room still up, could have went for the Flare Blitz into the Miraidon, pick it up, knock it out.
Frigoroth can't do anything to the Incineroar, it just has the Psychic here.
Incineroar is able to close this
And the
out
crowd
with
goes
Frigoroth's
wild.
only option, able to go for the Psychic in it. It's immune.
I can't believe what I'm just seeing. Frigoroth here in a position
Incredible.
where
And just leaves, it's immune. There's nothing more to be said than that.
He takes his second international championship and becomes your 2025 European International Champion.
And the crowd goes absolutely wild. Oh, and the pyrotechnics. Oh, absolutely electric. It's so exciting. Just take me back. I miss it so much. I miss it so much.
Absolutely amazing.
Before I knew it was over. No, exactly. Totally. We all did. We all did, Ben. Hello, Ben. Good to see you've been backtracking through the stream. Hello, my friend. It's Ben Carrack, everybody, my casting partner for the weekend. Thanks so much for being here. Been enjoying some of the terrible jokes I was telling you, Ben. Such a great event. It's a super nice way to start watching it back. Can ask for a better casting partner. Ben. Love to you, my friend. Likewise. What a dream it was to cast with you. We've had a lot of love, I gotta say, Ben, in the chat for our duo, so I'm pleased that people enjoyed it. Can't wait to hear Wilson's same victory speech. Yeah, I might not have time actually to do the whole speech here. Finals was so high. All right, the rest of the Merry went quiet.
Taking this championship.
So, then of course we had Wolf's iconic interview. We will
the mind games
have a little bit of that, but I can't stream for too much longer.
And Marcus Hamann, they were like, oh, Wolf, like you're really tired. Like we'll play the matchup for you. Like we'll play both sides. We'll see how it feels. And I got a message that was like, well, at best.
It's his second international championship and becomes your 2025 European International.
For them in the future.
Such respect for his opponent.
I hope so as well. This match right down to the wire. I want to know. Wolf click one more time, everyone.
Couldn't hear most live. We got to catch the Daspon one.
That was such
glad you enjoyed it, Alberto.
Crazy set.
I've been skipping through the
What's
jokes
going
in this
through your
stream,
mind right
so
now?
you can go back and check them out.
Honestly,
here we go. This is iconic.
I'm just thinking about the scope. There were 1,400 players who signed up for this tournament, who entered this tournament, the biggest official Pokemon tournament of all time. 1,400 players trained their Pokemon, traveled to London, practiced with a friend, worked on their team. 1,400 people showed up to this tournament hoping and dreaming to win the entire thing. But it wasn't enough!
He really enjoyed saying that.
I mean,
yeah, Wolf joining in the chance still. I actually wasn't aware of that, Peter.
Truly inspiring, time and time
incredible
again.
final acts.
And out of all things, this Parish team that
exactly, man. I wonder how long
you are
Wolf
known for. So I need your thoughts on that because I don't think you've ever lost
So,
in finals with Parish.
Then it came to me and Sierra doing the closing ceremony,
I'm just trying to be.
which was I've gone too far.
It really couldn't have been written any
Love
better.
doing the closing ceremony with Sierra.
Ceremony is ready on the stage.
Okay, Masters champion, Wolf Click!
So we announced Wolf as the Masters winner. Actually, haven't seen him on the podium yet. One segue top players win. That's a good point. I hadn't thought about that.
Raise those trophies high, everyone.
Actually, I haven't read the joke, Alberto, but that's really fascinating. Good club mouse. See you, Ash. Thanks so much for stopping by. Hope you had a merry evening. I'll be wrapping up soon anyway. Oh yeah, those post EUIC blues. Rachel hitting hard. Pikachu trying to clap with
Thank
its
you so much for
small arms.
all of the unforgettable matches this weekend. If you and May, please step backstage to
Mirroring
the
the heel.
tournament
That's a good
admins.
point, Rich. Yeah. Someone called out my name there in a little cheer, which was really, really, really kind, really lovely.
Now to close out
Appreciate it
EUIC
so much.
2025, we have some exciting news and updates to share with you all.
Oh, we certainly do, Sierra. We've watched our competitors battling it out all weekend to rise to the top, but that only tells a fraction of their story. These trainers put in work day in, day out,
So,
month
was doing
after
the
month, year
closing
after
ceremony with
year,
Sierra. We
forging their
watched
path
the
towards
Road to Worlds trailer that dropped for the first time. That's coming in March. I cannot wait to see that.
Road to Worlds Pokemon
2025
Video
for Wolves,
Game
maybe,
Championships
Ben,
is
maybe.
coming soon,
Best one
and
so
we're
far. Enjoyed it so much.
excited to learn the stories
Well,
of
yeah.
some of the
If the
prominent
tournament doesn't
players
go well,
and
you're just surrounded by
pastors here
friends
in the
before
Pokemon
I'm right.
community. Check out Pokemon.com for more information and stay tuned to the official YouTube channel to see the series launch in March 2025.
Then we're able to
Now then,
reveal the
trainers,
Worlds
as we know,
2025 trailer as
August will
well.
see the Pokemon World
I played with this script a little bit as well,
Championships in
but for the closing, it's a
Anaheim,
slightly different
California.
vibe from the opening. It was really fun opening the crowd if they were excited.
I thought so. That sounds about right. Sounds about right. What a thrill it was to announce the date and location at last year's Worlds in Honolulu. Time to ratchet your hype up a notch because we can now exclusively reveal the trailer for Worlds 2025.
Pokemon fans, trainers, and communities
If you
from
want to watch that
around
trailer,
the
you
world, are
can
you ready to see who will be the
do that
next
soon.
Massive shout outs to the Pokemon communities across Pokemon Unite,
And
Pokemon
I do
Go,
want
the Pokemon
to,
training.
yeah.
You can catch all
So
of the
Stockholm
excitement at our brand
and
new webpage,
coming out the
Pokemon.com/broadcast.
broadcast page, of course, but also
Do make
I
sure
had
to
the
give us a follow
privilege
on
of
Twitch and YouTube
giving a
as
shout
well,
out, showing
where
our
you can keep
appreciation
up to
for
date
all the
with
judges
our
and staff
videos
and
on
production
demand
crew, and
of
literally
our
wouldn't be
events
possible
as
without all of
well,
them.
of
So
course,
thank you
as
so
those
much
all-important
to
go live
all everyone
notifications.
backstage, everyone
Do
putting on
not
these
miss
tournaments.
out.
It literally wouldn't happen without them.
Now then,
So this is
everyone,
that moment.
it's time to show our appreciation for the wonderful staff, judges, production crew, and countless others who have made possible a superlative European International Championships this weekend. I know you're making noise already, but please give them an even more massive round of applause.
As well, a massive shout
Important,
out to the Pokemon
important.
communities across Pokemon
They really are the
Unite,
unsung heroes, so we
Pokemon
need
Go,
to
the Pokemon
sing
Trading
their
Card
praises
game,
more
and the
often.
Pokemon video game. Your love for these
And
games
that was
is
it.
what
That's
makes
us wrapping
all
up
of
the
this
EUIC.
possible.
I hadn't seen
And
the
with
trailer.
that,
No running.
The Road to Worlds in Anaheim continues, and we hope that you continue to tune
Thank
in
you so
for the
much,
rest of the
Alberto.
season
Thank you.
to
I
watch
really
your
enjoyed
heroes
helping out the
compete,
audience. I always
to see
do.
who's going to be the best. Thank you all for tuning in. Take care and see you soon, trainers.
And then as soon as Sierra and I got backstage, we filmed a little entry for the vlogs that we were both doing. So, as a little insight, my EUIC video will be coming at some point. Wolfie's Incineroar, exactly, Peter, exactly. Pikachu's chilling in the back. Queenie, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. So, all that remains is this here. I'll just refresh this. This is the post I made after EUIC, and as I said at the beginning, I'm just so grateful and feel so honored to be in a position to be able to do this and bring events like this to you all. The hype that you all brought and the support you all showed, it really does make it all worthwhile. So a couple of people have asked, favorite game to cast. I'm going to say the first top 8 match that Ben and I casted, which was between Taran and Yosuke. No, it can't have been Taran and... Anyway, the first top 8 match that Ben and I did, because it was just so hype. I felt like we were really on it as well. The juniors and seniors fans were great too, being out there in the crowd. So I guess in terms of the Masters, that first top 8 match with Taran. In terms of Championship Sunday, it would be... It's hard to choose between juniors and seniors finals. Just both of them. It's really hard to pick, but that's my answer. In terms of highlight from the weekend... It probably was opening the show as Spraggles. It was so exciting. So exciting getting things kicked off and, starting on the right note. And to be there opposite Spraggles, who, we've been called a dynamic duo. We opened day 2 at EUIC last year, was absolutely wonderful. And just lovely to be able to play off each other and use our acting and improvisation and things like that. So, this post, what a special time, hashtag Pokemon EUIC was. Thank you to the Dream Team, Ben Kuriaku, Sierra Dawn, Lou the Pikachu, Lee Provost, to all backstage, and so many more. Congrats to Wolfie Glick and Dill Yeomans, one for the history books. So much fun and feeling proud. Hope you enjoyed. I think what I've seen online, I don't think seen any post only congratulating Wolf. It's both Wolf and Dill. And it's just a testament to how well Dill played, the respect they had for each other, and it just really sums up the incredible community. And then, as I said, later on that night, I met up with the Unite people, and Jake said to me, talking about this top 10 birds thing, Charlie, I want you to know, you putting Eagle in 9th has been my entire day. That's how much the regard they hold Eagle in. Kirk said to me, Charlie, I love you, man, but you got terrible taste in birds. But the more I think about it, I don't even think the Eagle is in my top 10. You heard it here first. I prefer the little birds, I think. And anyway, that night after Championship Sunday, it was so fun to hang with everyone. We had a very chill one, you know. Everyone's voices were ropey by that point, playing some card games, and just chatting with everyone. Especially because, you know, people like Spraggles, Doobsnack, Zoinks, and so many others, we don't have the opportunity to hang out that much because they're not from the UK. So just making the most of that. It was a late one on Sunday and pretty early start on Monday, but it was worth it. It was worth it. And an incredible weekend. I don't think I talked about Saturday night. Oh, yeah, that's when I hung out with some of the VG players that I don't get to see, who I mentioned before. So, yeah, there we go. Should do something like co-stream with some creators of the GC and cast a few of those wild matches. Yeah, that'd be fun, Pete. That'd be fun, yeah. Sharing love for all the trainers and saying, agreed, Lithorium. Agreed. Thanks for the giggles. I'm pleased you enjoyed the giggles, Alex. Such a beautiful picture with Ben. Yeah, thanks, Ronnie. Actually, my girlfriend took that. Taran versus Joe Ugasto. Thank you, Alberto. That picture came out really, really well. Talonflame Truther. I think they should rebuff. Americans love their eagles. They do, and it's understandable to see why. You had to run, not get a parking ticket. That's fair enough, Lithorium. So then, everybody, there, of course, I've immortalized the kick on stage with Jake, that choreographed kick that we did. That's a bit of a tongue twister as well. Group shot on the couch, that cracking up moment with Lee with Dax Bun, and yeah, then me and Ben. It was such a special weekend. When I say it's one for the history books, every IC is, but this one in particular, Wolf and Dill meeting in the finals. The fact that it went to a third game and the fact that Wolf ultimately won, I mean, and revealing himself as the Global Challenge winner most recently, when everyone was wondering who that possibly could have been. It was insane. Opening the show with Spraggles again. I'm really pleased and proud of the first IC cast that I put in. Of course, last year I was hosting. Ben and I, as I said, were able to put in work behind the scenes, meeting up in person, which not every caster duo has the luxury of being able to do. So that was wonderful. And, you know, the dust is still settling over the course of this week. I'm sure you know I'll have thoughts. There are definitely things I know I could improve on. Casting is a craft. And you're never going to be perfect at it. But for my first IC showing, I'm really, really pleased. And, you know, even if it hadn't been my first, I think I put in a really solid effort. So I'm proud of myself. And again, what a team to work with. They made it all so much fun. We had such a good laugh. Sierra, Ben, Lou, Lee, and I. And everyone backstage and all the other casters. It was a dream. It really was a dream. And again, I just feel so fortunate and lucky to be able to do this. I have so many more thoughts, I'm sure, on EUIC. But as I said, it just felt right to be able to commemorate such a special event just by giving a little bit of a peek behind the curtain and breaking things down. So thank you so much for hanging out, everybody. If you enjoyed it, please do let me know. Show your support by liking and subscribing. Really does go such a long way. And also just so I know that you want to see more of this kind of content, because I'm very happy to produce it for you. A lot of your weekend was spent on spent with friends. Yeah, love to hear it. Lithorium. Events are only going to get bigger and better. Thank you so much, Rachel. That's so kind of you. Hang out with friends and the merry folk. Thank you so much, Lithorium. That means a huge amount. We all did gel together well, I think. I agree with you, Lithorium. Of course, Ronnie, I'm sorry it couldn't have been longer, but I'm just pleased we were able to bump into you. Yeah, wouldn't have felt right if I hadn't seen some of the merry folk in person. Try to make it to next EUIC. It certainly was fun. It certainly was, Peter. So then, everybody, with that being said, once more, please do like and subscribe if you enjoyed. It would mean a huge amount. All my socials link below. I'm at Chazingdra across everything. Discord community link below too. It'll be a pleasure to hang out with you all off stream. Hopefully streaming tomorrow as well. I'll definitely be streaming on Thursday with Lady Anne, and maybe some shiny hunting tomorrow too. That's going to be 5:30, 5:45-ish GMT, and 5:45-ish again for Lady Anne. Next episode of the podcast drops tomorrow with Steph of Anime. That's going to be on the audio apps, and then 3 p.m. Audio apps overnight, 3 p.m. GMT on YouTube as well. Steph of Anime, who has competitive leanings as well as more casual playthrough leanings, so I hope you're looking forward to that. Steph is such a sunny personality, and loved being able to interview her. Patreon link below as well if you want to support me as a creator. But thank you for hanging, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this insight. It was such a pleasure to debrief with you all, as I say, and for me as well, just to go back over some incredible memories. Eli, no worries. I'm sure your level of play was fine, Eli, but thank you for stopping by here. No big events in England this season? I don't think so, Alex. I don't think so. Thanks for the great stream. You love the breakdowns. Thank you so much, Peter. I'm pleased you enjoyed. Thank you so much. Yeah, GC this weekend. Thanks for the stream. Love reliving. Yeah. You have a great evening as well. Thank you so much, Rachel. Have a merry rest of your day too. Glad you enjoyed this peek behind the curtain. And I hope that, I can provide more of these within reason as well. So, everybody, thanks so much for being here. Once more, please do like and subscribe if you've enjoyed. Been so good to hang out with you all. I've missed streaming too. Feels good to be back. Have a very merry rest of your day. Thanks, everyone.